Right. Hi, my name is Kim. I was on Destination X and I'm here with Hollywood Junket.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, so Kim, first of all, of course, thank you for being here. You were definitely a bus favorite, a fan favorite. I know when you left the bus, Shane said, "Can't picture the bus without you." Same here. I want to go ahead and get right into it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying watching the show. It's pretty good. It's great. Yeah, it's nice.
So, in the beginning, it kind of seemed like you and Rick, had a good chemistry and maybe would have formed an alliance. And then we saw that during the train ride, you were set on, not sharing clues with Rick's alliances, Janae and Peter. Can you kind of tell us what happened with you and Rick? Was there anything that happened, or kind of give us some insight on why no alliance was formed there?
No, I never trusted Rick from day one on the tarmac. Him and Ty, I was refusing actually. I don't know. It was like the energy. I didn't feel a good vibe. I didn't feel I felt this energy of yeah, no. And it turns out he's lied about everything, right? So I didn't even know who he was. All I found out was lies after lies after lies. As I'm watching, I'm like, I was right about that dude. I was right about that guy, you know. So I no, I just didn't trust him from day one.
Mhm. And I have to ask also, what are your thoughts on the showmance between Shane and Allie? Do you have any predictions for the future for them, or what do you think about the showmance?
Bad move. Bad move. I told them both that, or that it was silly. It's probably going to get in the way towards the end, depending on how long you guys stay in. At some point, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get mad. Um, that just comes with the territory, regardless of how much you think you're in love, right? But yeah, I thought it was a dumb play.
And there was so much, which is kind of inevitable on any type of game show, but misinformation kind of going around with different players. And you kind of played a lone wolf game, which a lot of people respected, including myself. Is that kind of the reason why you decided not to form any alliances, really? Or like, what was your reasoning for that?
Couple things, I guess. One, they were so much younger than me, and I felt like I was a lot wiser, just by age anyway. And then I don't know. Mac was probably one of the ones that I thought would probably be beneficial as far as knowledge because she seemed very smart. Um, I thought she was probably the smartest one in the whole group. So, I kind of I didn't really want to form an alliance just because I didn't want to blame anybody for my leaving or my figuring things out or lack of knowledge. I just wanted to leave it on me and I was there to do my thing. I mean, I was there to be friendly and have a good time with everybody, but as far as uh, information, whether they were feeding you correct information or whatever, I just wanted to make my own opinion, form my own opinion and use that. I felt I could trust myself best, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would have done the same as well if given the cards to play. Biggie, speaking of Biggie, he's smarter, I feel, than he lets people in on. Who else do you think we should watch out for in the show?
Biggie definitely is, I don't know that it would be smarter. I think he's got a good gameplay
Yeah.
because I don't feel like he's got the knowledge per se, as like Mac does, but he's smart because he knows who to hook up with, he's a pretty good reader of people, I think, which you need to be, right? And so I'm rooting for Biggie for sure. Anybody else? No, I think Biggie and Mac are the ones to really watch out for.
Um, okay, so Kim, what do you think now about Peter and Janae? Have your thoughts changed? Any new things come up?
Okay, not for Peter. Peter, actually, I'm more of a fan now of Peter. I didn't know where he came from either. I don't watch reality TV, so I didn't know. but I've since, started following him and watching him and things. And yeah, I haven't changed. He's a great guy. He's very from a very well family. He was raised, I feel he was had a great upbringing and obviously great parents because he's a really good kid. As far as Janae, no, I never liked her from the minute she came on the bus. I thought, as we call it in Hawaii, I mucka mucka, meaning she thought she was better than us, I feel, and maybe she was. I didn't know where she came from, what show she'd been on, but she really presented that strongly, and I didn't like that at all. And being that we're both kind of, well, I've lived in Hawaii for 45 years, and I guess she said she lived in Hawaii for 10 or 11 years or something like that. And I feel like I'm more knowledgeable to Hawaii. I don't know it all, but I do work in social. I'm a social worker, and she thought she knew more than me when it came to something that I do for a living, and she didn't like that I brought the receipts, so to speak, and she got really mad about it. And then later that night, uh, oh yeah, she lost her lid. She went off calling me every name in the book, F word this, F word that. She was talking about my looks, my age, my face, things like that. And so I was like, no, it's done. It was a verbal altercation, but I feel like it was more of a verbal attack on her part. And so, my opinion, even not knowing her very much, it's like totally at the least that it's at the bottom of the bottom, to be honest. Just did very disrespectful. Just yeah, no, I have nothing really good to say about her, to be honest, unfortunately.
Having said that, and thank you for sharing that. Do you, if you were on the bus now, how would you have would you played the game differently, or would you have just kind of steered clear from Janae for the remainder of it, or
That's what I did. I After that night, that the incident happened, I just couldn't see myself on the bus again with her. I couldn't see myself sitting across from somebody with that. I just, I couldn't one, trust myself maybe to start, to want to say something back to her, or I don't know. I thought, oh, I want to pull her hair out or whatever. And I didn't want, the world to see that part of me. I wish the world saw that part of her, to be honest, because it was a trip. It was not good. And so I chose to, yeah, I knew we were in Munich and I chose to exit the bus instead of I didn't know how long I'd have to be on the bus with her. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't want to deal with her.
so it was kind of at that point protecting your peace and mental health opposed to just kind of going
E-
for the money. And
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah,
can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that.
I want. I was like, okay, I wanted to leave all that behind, get off the bus, leave it all behind, and enjoy whatever time left that I had in Europe. And that's what I did. Clear my mind, and yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Europe, I know you said you picked Frankfurt, right? Yeah, I was kind of guessing it was Frankfurt too, and I was totally wrong, obviously. But speaking of the bus, do you have like a crazy or fun bus story that you want to share, or something funny that we didn't get to see, kind of like behind the scenes?
So much. I wish they so much. One, Rick cried almost every single day. Like I used to I mean and I'm a jokester in a way, so I used to tell him, Rick, you need to grow some balls, dude. Come on, Rick, grow some balls. He cried, he'd miss his wife. Every time we talk about home or this or that, he'd start crying. And then I found out later, since I've been off or whatever, I found out that he even told me himself, yeah, he cried every day. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. But I used to make fun of him. I know that's not very nice, but in a jokingly way, I would,
Banter.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, be funny. But we had so much fun. Like Biggie, myself, Mac, Shane. I mean, Shane hasn't gotten exposure that I wish he would have gotten because Shane is a funny guy. Shane is like he's the one line king and he's entertaining. And I thought yeah, he entertained for sure. So
Wow.
yeah, a lot
I
of good. There's a lot of good times on the bus for sure. Like the behind the scenes, the no pressure, not playing a game. We're not playing. We're just chilling, and we had a lot of fun.
Oh wow. I wish we got to see some of those clips behind the scenes, maybe in the bloopers or outtakes at the end of the season. That would be really cool. So,
Oh, that would be great. We've all been talking about it, and we're like, we wish they showed more of that interaction because that would have really, yeah, it would have really, it definitely would have made a difference, I think.
yes. No, I totally agree. So,
Even the DMs that I'm getting, even the DMs that I've gotten from a lot of people that are watching and stuff, they're all like, "How come they didn't show? So what's going on?" Because they're like, "We know that it must have been an entertaining time, and like I'm not saying I was the biggest of the entertainers, but I definitely kept it going, because we were on the bus 11, 12-hour drives, and it was like, okay, we got to have something going on here where we can laugh, and I
absolutely.
hopefully they'll show some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can hope because it sounds like a hoot and I really want to see it. But Kim, thank you so much for all of your time, for being so honest, and we look forward to seeing you more in the future.
Hey, great. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
Bye.
You take care, guys. Thank you.